Thank you very much. It is a matter of encouragement for me. Last month I had a very important and very fruitful visit of India. I had a very serious, intense debate and discussion with the leaders of Indian government and different political parties. This is a interesting and very unique coincidence that this time I am here with you. This is very important meeting for me. Mr. Chairman of this session, Dr. Deepak Adhikari ji, Honorable Deputy Speaker Srimati Pushpa Bhushal ji, distinguished delegates, friends, ladies and gentlemen. At the very outset, let me express my profound happiness for being part of this important international seminar on such a vital subject, international relations, Nepal and the world order. I, therefore, express my sincere thanks to Niti Anusandhan Pratishthan Nepal, Policy Research Institute Nepal, for organizing this seminar on such a vital issue concerning Nepal's international relation and inviting me as a chief guest of this conclusive session. Such programs serve as the important platform for discussing and exploring the dynamics of international relations in this rapidly changing global world order. Changing dynamics of international relations brings challenges as well as opportunities for us. In this context, our basic focus should be directed toward better comprehending such challenges and opportunities while formulating and implementing policies. The fundamental objective of the foreign policy should be guided towards addressing the present challenges and utilizing the opportunities of the current global system in an effective manner that serves the needs and interests of our country and our people. The seminar is timely and its theme is appropriate, which has enthralled me personally. This seminar is thus expected to have a far-reaching impact and broaden our perspective in looking at newer turns of events in the neighborhood as well as in the broader international arena, and accordingly conduct of our foreign policies and international relations. I am optimistic that the best brain, I am really optimistic that the best brain who have gathered here would come up with the innovative ideas, suggestion and recommendation which would be helpful for all of us in charting our future course of foreign policy and the conduct of international relations, as well as adopt the strategy and how best we can benefit from the development in the neighborhood and in the world. Our Constitution has clearly set forth the objective and principle of our foreign policy, which seeks to enhance the dignity of the nation by safeguarding sovereignty, territorial integrity, independence, and promoting economic well-being and prosperity of Nepal and contributing to global peace, harmony, and security. The directive principle of the Constitution says the state shall direct its international relation toward enhancing the dignity of the nation in the world community by maintaining international relations on the basis of sovereign equality while safeguarding the freedom, sovereignty, territorial integrity and independence and national interest of Nepal, while the state policy and priorities of foreign policy are defined as to conduct an independent foreign policy based on the Charter of the United Nations, non-alignment principle of Panchashil, international law, and the norms of the world peace, taking into consideration of the overall interest of the nation, while remaining active in safeguarding the sovereignty, territorial integrity, independence, and national interest of Nepal. To review treaties concluded in the past and make treaties agreement based on equality and mutual interest. The Constitution also guides the conduct of our foreign policy on the basis of principle mutual respect for each other's territorial integrity and sovereignty, non-interference in each other's internal affairs, respect for mutual equality, non-aggression and the peaceful settlement of the dispute, cooperation for mutual benefit, abiding faith in the Charter of the United Nations and value of the world peace. Based on the constitutional principle, priorities and guidelines, we conduct our international relations, foreign policy and diplomacy. Nepal is in the vital geographical location which gives a greater geopolitical prominence. With the dawn of the 21st century, international power and geopolitics have seen a great paradigm shift. Asia is becoming the epicenter of international power. All the predictions have it that the 21st century will be the Asian century, in which Asian countries, especially India and China, will have a bigger role to play due to their physical size, economy, and demographic dynamics. China is already second largest economy and India is the fifth largest. Both India and China have been marching ahead fast and firmly to become key global power. The spectacular rise of China and India is a matter of pride for all the Asian, including Nepal, as our next door neighbors, our global power and center of the global attention. This is also an opportunity for Nepal to take benefit from the development of our two neighbors in getting rid of abject poverty, mass unemployment and backwardness. Development is a long way and time-consuming process which requires vision, enduring patience, sustained policy measures and determination. The level of development of these two great neighbors of ours have achieved is not an overnight accomplishment. They have achieved this period through arduous struggle of the people, visionary leadership, and sustained growth and sustainable development policies. During their march to modernization and advancement, both India and Chinese people have made sacrifices and gone through many ups and downs and twists and turns in the process. Their trajectory and experience on the path to prosperity could be a great lesson for all of us, and we can and should benefit a lot from their experience. A decade ago, I proposed a trilateral framework for peace, development and cooperation among Nepal, India and China. Nepal is not merely a buffer state, but can be a vibrant bridge between India and China. We know their core concern and we always pay special attention to their concern and address them accordingly. If Nepal, India and China build trilateral framework for development, it will have a far-reaching repercussion in the region and also in the globe. This is the age of globalization and we cannot escape from this. In the present era of globalization, all countries are interconnected. Countries cannot prosper in isolation. This is also the age of cooperation and collaboration. We can prosper only when we cooperate and collaborate among one another. Greater cooperation among nations is a fundamental basis for peace, development and prosperity. Nepal has no enemy but all friends. We have been receiving goodwill and cooperation from all countries in the world. I am optimistic that we continue to get such cooperation in future. It is only through mutual cooperation we can solve the multiple problems and contradictions and face global challenges. The COVID-19 pandemic also exposed how vulnerable we are and gave us a strong message for greater necessity of mutual cooperation and collaboration. Same concept issue is there about global warming and climate change. The sensitivity of this issue is well known all over the world. The world order has also witnessed a great transformation. The world is slowly moving from unipolar to multipolar order. Nepal has always been an advocate of multipolar order. As stated in our constitution, we have strong faith in the United Nations Charter and non-alignment in the conduct of international relations. We live in the era of multiple contradictions. Countries in the global south are suffering from poverty, inequality and backwardness. Countries in the global south are yet to reap benefits from globalization. Now is the time countries in the south, including Nepal, should explore all possibilities and reap benefits from the newly developed global scenario and development for the common progress and prosperity. Peace and stability are the basic foundation for development of prosperity. Nepal is a peaceful country. It advocates peace at home, peace everywhere. It is only through peace and cooperation we can march ahead on the path of prosperity and modernization. Thank you, everybody, for your serious attention. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your very